afternoon, Northwest, and welcome to the February edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Mary Keani Nia.
And I'm Nick Swyden.
I am so glad I don't have to deal with these new laptops.
I think you're just jealous. I'm excited to try them out. Melanie tells us more about these new student devices.
On February 4th, the administration began distributing laptops to all students except for seniors. Now, teachers are finding ways to implement them in the classroom that best help students' learning.
So it was a really long process to get to our February 4th and 5th days of getting devices, and that went way back into like early September. So we had to send our rosters into individuals at district office who were working with Mac, and then we had to decide how we wanted to distribute devices.
For the students choosing to go on to college, I think having a little bit of a baby step with the freedom there, once you're in a large lecture hall, the ability to have a computer with you will be there in college, so knowing what that's like in a smaller classroom setting and how to use Canvas, how to communicate electronically is also something really important.
With every student now having access to a device, the goal is to get students more familiar and comfortable with using technology for work purposes.
I don't think a computer is a solution to making decisions about what to teach and why to teach it. I think we as educators constantly need to figure out, why are we teaching this, what do we want kids to know, and how do we want them to demonstrate they know it. And so if computers enhance that, we should totally use it. But if computers don't enhance that and we have a better way of doing it than a computer, let's do that. I think sometimes doing something because it's cool and shiny on the computer looks really great until you realize that your poor student is having to spend twice as much time building this really whippy PowerPoint and this really fancy video when they could be doing something much quicker.
With personalized devices, some simple things that we would look at, using Canvas for more discussion boards, using the ARC tool in Canvas to where there's a lot of like flipped videos or students can make their own videos really quickly. Also just other programs and things that eventually will be able to be downloaded for certain curriculums will be downloaded straight onto a student's device versus having to use a district device.
There's some things that we should help people understand how to do. That is a work computer. You're not going to be watching your personal Netflix account on there, and you're not going to be playing your personal game on there. That's not the goal of that computer. The goal of that computer is to do your work. And so you have a work email and a personal email. And so for people to figure out that difference in their lives, I think sometimes people just see technology blurred together. And it should be in some ways separate, especially when it comes to this computer. It's owned by the district. They own it. They're asking you to use it, and you can use it, but you need to use it in ways that enhances learning.
As students move on into the professional world, I think technology is something that's going to be even more important, and maybe it won't be a MacBook or it won't be a Google Drive system, but there will be things that they need to learn and adapt and just be flexible.
The district is hoping to improve education through the new devices to benefit both students and staff. This is Melanie Wilkins and Nathan Fortune for Husky Headlines.
What are you trying to do?
After spending time with the honors principals of engineering students this week, I'm trying to see if I can build a pasta bridge as good as they can. I find out more about this story. Most students at Northwest have seen the Honors Principles of Engineering classroom, but few know about the exciting challenges that students face within. One of these challenges include the 4th annual Blue Valley Pasta Bridge Competition, which will be held on Friday, March 1st.
The Principles of Engineering course is a project-based course. So at the end of each of our units, we have a build that takes what we've learned from that process and puts it into application. And so our pasta bridge is our ultimate build for all of that information.
We had some time to come up with some brainstorming sketches, and then we came together and decided on a final design, and then had to build that prototype based on that design, and then crushed that, got information based on how that did, and then moved on to create the final bridge, which we are finishing up right now.
They need to build a bridge strictly out of store-bought pasta and white Elmer's glue. It's going to cover a 30-inch gap, and it needs to be between 32 and 36 inches long and between 4 and 6 inches wide, and can't be taller than 6 inches. The piece that is the hardest to follow is that they're only allowed to have 4 or less layers of lasagna at any point in their structure.
We had to go through many different types of pasta, we had to go through many different designs, and we had to stray from the design that we thought we were going to initially do so many times that I don't even recognize it anymore. And it's been one of the most time-consuming and stressful projects that I've ever been a part of because of how long it takes and how the pasta really doesn't like to be glued.
Trying to combat the pasta cracking, because when it comes into contact with the glue, it tends to crack, and then trying to piece it back together, because sometimes when it has cracked, pieces of the bridge have fallen off and fallen apart. So just trying to keep our bridge in one piece. I've learned a lot of time management and working with other people and we only have so much class time to construct this bridge, which means that it's required a lot of early mornings and late nights and half times to get this done before the deadline.
This is really about resilience and problem solving and tenacity. Timing it out, making sure that 3 weeks from now it's supposed to be done, that seems a long ways off, but understanding that if you don't work this week, you're not going to get there by the time it needs to happen. So it's really just taking all the design that we always do, taking the topic, the statics that we know, but really working with the resilience of it not doing what you wanted it to do and understanding that it's a difficult product and then overcoming that. And really the group that overcomes that the best is the group that's going to come out in the end.
Honors principles of engineering students not only take away skills in engineering, but life skills as well. Stolman urges any students interested in engineering to join POE and challenge themselves with various other competitions the class offers, as well as the pasta bridges. This is Nick Swiden and Marikiani Nia for Husky Headlines. Jillian tells us more about an individual on the swim team who has overcome many obstacles in order to compete in the sport he loves.
Swimming on the Northwest JV team in itself takes skill, but sophomore Liam Thirlby has to keep up with his team while managing a visual impairment.
I still have a little vision, so once I swim, when the wall gets closer, I feel the water churning. If I get closer to the other teammate, I would know, so I would know to slow down.
Even though Liam is visually impaired, I don't think you would really know it watching him in a swim meet or in practice or anything like that. In fact, I think a lot of his teammates kind of underestimate how little he can see.
I think the best part of Liam that makes him a good swimmer is that he always has to keep going. He has this mental toughness. He'll run into the lane line or something and it will hurt and he'll sit out for a few seconds and then just keep going.
He is always trying his hardest. In practice, he also has this great lighthearted attitude which allows him to be happy and train hard at the same time. You know, he doesn't ask for a lot of attention. He's just happy to be a part of the team, happy to practice hard, happy to be there with the rest of the guys. I think that those traits are the things that we look for on the swim team from all of our kids.
Thirlby's positive attitude and dedication towards the team has not only helped them at meets, but also in their day-to-day lives.
I think that swimming with Liam has shown me that I don't have as many challenges and that even he can succeed with his visual impairment, so it's really motivation for me to succeed in swim.
You know, anytime somebody is thinking about, oh my gosh, I have something going on in my life where I'm struggling to get my times down for one reason or another, the tiny little complaints that people have pale in comparison with what Liam needs to put up with. It lends some perspective. He is an inspirational kid to a lot of the guys on the team.
Being on the swim team helps me to try to get to know people better and not just swimming by myself, but with my teammates. And also helped me to know that there are other people that I can swim with that are just as fast and I can pace with.
Despite his visual impairment, Thirlby continues to improve his swimming skills and is looking forward to the next season. This is Jillian Atterbury and Melanie Wilkins for Husky Headlines.
And now for this month's edition of Senior Profiles.
It's a very difficult sport, and it's not for everyone. I like that, how, you know, you could try to do it, but you really have to learn to love it. It's very difficult every single day, and once you start to appreciate it, then you really begin to develop a love for the sport.
What got me into playing tennis was my dad put me into it when I was about 3rd or 4th grade. I didn't really like it at first, but I started loving it after I was played a few weeks.
My favorite thing about running track at Blue Valley Northwest is probably the relationships I've made throughout the past couple years and also the progress I've made throughout with my running.
My favorite coach is probably my coach I have outside of tennis, Aaron Marchetti. He's a really great guy, we're really close friends, and he cares about more than just tennis. Like, we go out to dinner and hang out, and it's great.
Coach Serbo. I originally wasn't going to do wrestling. I didn't even really know about it when I moved to the school, but I was heavily involved in football and him being my coach after that. He told me he needed someone to grapple for him, so I tried out wrestling and I loved it.
The best thing I've learned from track is that you just gotta keep pushing yourself until you achieve your goal, because it will happen eventually.
Have you ever tried to play a sport with your sibling?
No, but the Chapman Brothers do it every day. Ryan tells us more about this story.
From shooting hoops in their driveway to winning a state championship, the Chapman Brothers have built a relationship that goes beyond high school basketball.
Having my brother on the court with me is pretty nice. We have pretty good chemistry because we've been playing together for so long now, and we've been working out with each other, and we just know each other's games super well, so we know what the other brother's gonna do, and it helps us.
We've been playing with each other since as long as I can remember, in the driveway, passing the ball to each other, rebounding for each other, playing each other one-on-one, so I feel like we have a special connection on the court. For example, when I throw the ball into Matthew, I know he'll most likely be able to score it, and he's going to do the right thing with the ball and make the right decision. So I feel like just because we know each other's games so well, we're able to trust each other.
We've really gone through some stretches the last few years. Christian Brown played with his brother Parker. Joe Pleasant played with his brother AJ. And so this is just another brother combination. They're just really good kids, really good teammates. You can tell that they're quick to praise each other when they do well. They're both hard workers, so I think it's been really fun for them to play together.
They've just brought everyone closer together. With them being so close, just in general, their chemistry has translated to others on the team.
With Jack having less experience at the varsity level, Matthew uses his leadership and experience to help his brother adjust to varsity level basketball.
He was able to tell me what it was going to be like. He told me how practices were going to be. He told me how to prepare for a game. He basically told me everything I need to know and prepared me for the season.
I think he helped him with adjusting with just handling the pressure of playing at the varsity level and knowing that you're going to make mistakes and moving on and looking at the next play.
I think Matt's always set a good example. He could help Jack just learn about being a little bit better on defense, maybe just some little things in the game. When he's not 100%, he still is at every practice working hard, and I think that's good for Jack to see.
We do very different things in practices and even in games, but even after practices, we'll both just talk about what's going on, even at home, just anything that's on our minds about the team, what we need to improve on.
As the team tries to win its third straight state title this season, the Chapmans are using this opportunity to become closer.
Not many people get to play with their brother in high school. Not many people get to share the court with their brother. We're both starting this year, and it's a lot of fun to be able to play aside of him. So for both of us to win back-to-back together, that'd be something special.
It's been a dream of ours to play together like this in this situation, and it's became a reality, and we're both happy to be there and work hard and go get it.
With their goal to achieve school history within reach, they are focused on finishing out their final season for the last time together. This is Ryan Blank and Peter Educate for Husky Headlines.
And now we go to Abby and Ben for this month's edition of Northwest Snapshots.
In 2017, Northwest Junior Varsity basketball coach Martane Freeman started Kansas City Elite, a basketball program for kindergartners through 12th graders whose goal is to help students prepare for college through scholarships and team sports.
I help kids with basketball. Number one, about trying to change their situation. I can care less about how many points they get, just somewhere to go to school for free and teach them life skills through team sports. It came because of my younger brother, Marcus Denman. Everything I would learn from when I went Division I in college to professional, I then come back and try it on him. The main goal was to get his college education, master's, and then see where the ball falls from there. So the U part, Kansas City Elite, is kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. And then Marcus Denman Elite is 9th through 12th. How our program works and functions is through the companies, Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour. Right now, we in line and partner with Under Armour. So if our high school program has success, it spreads all the way down to our youth. And so our youth kids get a fast forward on coming in and having that opportunity to be seen a lot earlier by college coaches, high school and college graduations, or master ceremonies or doctrines or whatever. You think about all those little moments, all those lines, all the traveling, the games played to get them to recognize how important the homework is. Like, it's just unexplainable. You just think about everything what it took to get here to this point. Spectators that's not involved just see the finished result. We didn't see all the literally hard work and time and effort that you put into it.
Wow, Bob Ross is so relaxing.
I've always wondered if I would be able to paint like that. Nathan tests Northwest on their painting skills and ability to follow directions.
Following Bob Ross tutorials has become a common practice on many social media platforms. We tested students' abilities to follow a similar tutorial. Hi, welcome back to another episode. Today I just thought we'd do a nice little environment scene.
What a majestic beard.
I like how it's like kind of Bob Ross, but like not really. It's like an off-brand Bob Ross.
A little bit of yellow.
You should always put your lightest color first, so question marking this application, but we're gonna go with it.
She's stiff.
This looks like a bad, like, Taco Bell Cheetos
Back and forth movement.
sort of
Making
concoction.
sure not to do anything too hard.
That's how you know you're artistically challenged, you know. You can't even follow.
Can't even follow, no. Artists, like,
Yeah.
they do their own thing.
Yeah.
You gotta make your own art. You can't just follow other people.
We're just gonna add a little black. Just a little. Black's a very dominating color.
I'm actually gonna go with blue because black is pretty dominant.
I did way too much black.
Alright, now I need to add some people, you know?
People?
Yeah, dude. What's a mountain without a person to enjoy it, you know?
I think this guy, he's just gonna be a big fella. Just a big fella, coming right down here.
Okay, I was like the master of drawing Christmas trees in elementary school, so like I can do this. This is like my wheelhouse right here.
We all drew the little triangles on top of triangles.
No, mine was more than that. My second grade teacher asked me to draw the Christmas trees for the hallway.
Ooh.
So
that's a sad flex.
Yeah.
This is getting dark, like a middle school emo stage.
Yes, guys, things are looking up.
Really start spreading out too. Look at that.
I can't tell whether those are like marshmallow yetis or like.
It's my family, dude. Chill. That's so rude.
Whatever you want. Add all kinds of colors.
This is.
You paint like you bite kids when you when you were younger. Dude, you got a little ocean in the background, like there's depth to it.
Yeah.
Blend that in right there.
Oh man.
Wow.
Boom. An emo rave mixed with a Bob Ross magical happy environment.
I'd say we're about done for this episode. Thank you for joining me. And be sure to submit some letters on what you're doing yourself at home. Have a nice day.
Man, I really wish I did more with theater before I graduated.
Maybe you should try Odyssey the Mind. Allie tells us more about this unique group.
While theater and music are activities that everyone is aware of, many do not know about the Odyssey the Mind team at Northwest.
Odyssey of the Mind is an extracurricular creative problem-solving activity. It's a group of girls, we get together, and it combines all of these different skills like problem-solving and creativity and teamwork into this one project that we do. Basically, the whole year we work on making an 8-minute skit from scratch. We have a $125 limit on it. Everything is made out of recycled materials, trash.
Our group dynamic is kind of similar to school activities, but also a little bit different because we've known each other for so long. It's kind of like friendship basis. I think we do a lot more things to really get to know each other. We go to things like state competition and world competition where we're together the entire time, so we have to get along, we have to like each other, and it really gives us a good opportunity to grow in our relationships and get to know each other.
I became a coach of Odyssey of the Mind because I did Odyssey of the Mind, but when the kids were young, I was looking for something for them to do that was outside of the classroom and that was anti-technology, sort of good old-fashioned fun that they could do with their friends. So it started as just gathering the kids in the neighborhood together, doing Odyssey of the Mind in my basement, in my garage, and it continued to grow. I had no idea they would still be doing it 12 years later.
The only reason I think we kept going for so long is because my mom coaches. She's super encouraging, and it's impressive how she lets her house be trashed like that.
The unique opportunities presented by Odyssey of the Mind gives the girls a place to learn valuable life skills and to grow closer as friends.
I definitely have seen myself change. I think our coach pushes us a lot and tells us that we should often fail and we should start over, and it has helped me to listen to other people more, rely on other people more for their ideas, because I used to try and do everything on my own.
The fact that we're getting together 2 or 3 times a week to work on something, and we're having to run ideas by each other, and we're having to, compromise. We don't always get our way if we're just working together to form one project. I think that has really made me understand my teammates, the way that they think, the way that they do stuff, and I think that it's been really good to be able to share this connection with them.
I think for me, Odyssey of the Mind has taught me patience. I have to stand back and be patient, let them fail, let them make mistakes on their own, let them learn from those mistakes. I can't jump in there and tell them that's not going to work. You have to just let them ride it out. And that's hard, but it's a good thing afterwards, because if they can come back from that, it's a growing experience.
Sticking with Odyssey of the Mind through elementary school has provided these girls with life experiences they will never forget. They will be attending the state competition this March to showcase their hard work. This is Riley Beach and Allie Brenneman crafting this story for Husky Headlines.
Allie tells us more about a group of individuals at Northwest who are volunteering with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Dedicated to finding a cure for cancer, Northwest students have made an effort to fundraise money for cancer patients through the Students of the Year program.
Students of the Year is a leadership development campaign for high school students to raise funds for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society over a 7-week period. They raise the funds for what we call an honor hero. So it's a person that's currently going through treatment, a patient for blood cancer.
It's a program where they select students throughout the nation to come together, and they pick their team. So I was requested to pick a team and form a team that I think would be beneficial to me to help fundraise for certain patients that have cancer throughout our local community. The arching goal of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is to fundraise for research and fund the cures for the medical patients.
It's all about the mission, honestly. I mean, it is about raising the funds to find a cure for cancer. But really what I try to focus on with these students is that they really do take away something, they learn something, that they walk away feeling really good about what they did, and they will use those skills as they go through the rest of their high school years and on into college.
These experiences with patients have impacted these students in a variety of ways.
It's really opened my eyes to seeing other people with less fortunate circumstances, and how much just little acts you can do in your life to improve their situation so much more, and how much of an impact that can have on people.
I have a lot of problems that I think are big, right? And then I go see them and they're like, their problems are nowhere compared to mine. Their problems are a lot bigger. So it definitely shows me no matter what happens, you can push through it like they are.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society will be holding a fundraiser on March 9th at the Chipotle on 151st Street from 4 to 8 p.m. for anyone who would like to donate. A portion of the proceeds from this evening will go towards cancer research. This is Allie Brenneman and Jillian Atterbury for Husky Headlines.
And that's it for this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Nick Swiden.
And I'm Mary County Nia.
Have a great day, Northwest.